Joel and Victoria Osteen, the dynamic duo behind Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, have certainly been no strangers to controversy throughout their careers. Their rise to prominence, both as religious leaders and media personalities, has placed them in the spotlight, garnering both admiration and criticism. While Joel Osteen has faced multiple public scrutiny due to his preaching style and the controversies surrounding Lakewood Church, it is now his wife, Victoria Osteen, who has become the center of attention in the latest wave of controversy. Let's take a deep dive into their early life, ministry, controversies, and what led Victoria to break her silence, leaving many stunned by her comments. Early life and marriage. Victoria Osteen, born Victoria Eloff on March 28, 1961, in Huntsville, Alabama, had an early life intertwined with academia and faith. Her father, Donald Eloff, was a mathematician for General Electric and worked with NASA's Saturn rocket project. The family relocated to Houston, Texas, in 1963, when her father accepted a position with NASA. Growing up in a conservative Church of Christ, where her mother taught Sunday school and her father served as a deacon, Victoria's upbringing was deeply rooted in faith. After attending the University of Houston and working in her mother's jewelry store, Victoria met Joel Osteen in 1985. The two married in 1987, and together they built Lakewood Church into a global ministry. Victoria, like Joel, became an influential figure within the church and the larger Christian community. She is also a published author, known for her book, Living Healthy, Happy and Whole, which debuted as a New York Times bestseller in 2008. Joel Osteen's rise to fame. Joel Osteen, born in 1963 in Houston, Texas, grew up in a religious family. His father, John Osteen, founded Lakewood Church in 1959, initially holding services in a former feed store. Joel, one of 6 children, wasn't initially seen as the likely successor to his father's ministry. He worked behind the scenes, focusing on the church's media presence and growing the television ministry. When his father passed away in 1999, Joel unexpectedly became the senior pastor. Under his leadership, Lakewood Church experienced tremendous growth, ultimately becoming one of the largest and fastest-growing churches in the United States. His style of preaching, which is non-confrontational and heavily focused on positivity and prosperity, drew millions of viewers across the globe. By 2018, his televised sermons reached over 100 countries and attracted more than 10 million viewers weekly. This success allowed Joel and Victoria to lead the church to its new 16,000-seat arena, the former Compact Center in Houston, in 2005. The prosperity gospel. The Osteens have often been associated with the prosperity gospel, a controversial belief that God rewards faithfulness with financial success and physical health. Critics argue that this theology manipulates vulnerable followers into donating large sums of money, promising them blessings in return. While Joel Osteen has consistently denied being a proponent of this theology, his lavish lifestyle and focus on wealth creation have drawn criticisms from many. Questions about their immense wealth, with estimates of their net worth reaching tens of millions, have fueled accusations of hypocrisy and exploitation. Some critics claim that their message prioritizes personal success over traditional Christian values. Handling of crisis situations. The Osteens have also faced significant backlash during times of crisis. For example, during the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey in 2017, Lakewood Church initially did not open its doors to serve as a shelter, which prompted widespread criticism. Though the church later offered temporary housing, many felt that the Osteens' delay in providing aid reflected poorly on their commitment to serve the community. In 2020, Joel Osteen's church faced further scrutiny when it was revealed that Lakewood received $4.4 million in Federal Paycheck Protection Program (PPP) funding during the COVID-19 pandemic. Though the church claimed the money was used to protect jobs, critics raised questions about the appropriateness of a wealthy church accepting federal aid. Victoria Osteen's controversial comments. Victoria Osteen herself has not been immune to criticism. One of the most notable controversies occurred in 2005, when she made a statement that many saw as controversial for its perceived lack of reverence. During a sermon, she told her congregation that they should not focus on praying for things, but should instead thank God for what He has already given them. While the message might resonate with some, many felt that it lacked the depth and reverence that people expect from religious leaders. However, it is her more recent remarks that have stirred up even more controversy. In an unexpected and candid moment, Victoria broke her silence regarding her views on a variety of matters related to the church, the prosperity gospel, and her role in the ministry. These statements left many people shocked, as they seemed to represent a shift in her previously more guarded and carefully crafted public persona. The specifics of her comments have ignited debates, with some praising her boldness, while others feel that she might be distancing herself from the message that the Osteens are known for. The Osteens' influence and the backlash they face. Despite the controversies, the Osteens have maintained a powerful influence in the Christian community. They have built a global ministry, attracting millions of viewers who appreciate their messages of hope, positivity, and faith. Their televised sermons, best-selling books, and media presence have helped Lakewood Church become a beacon of prosperity for many. Yet, as their fame grows, so does the backlash. Critics argue that the Osteens' focus on wealth and success detracts from traditional Christian teachings about humility, sacrifice, and social justice. While some view the Osteens as effective communicators who have brought new people to the faith, others believe their message perpetuates a harmful, consumerist approach to spirituality. Victoria Osteen's silence and the new controversy. In recent times, as Victoria Osteen has become more vocal, her comments have sparked new debates within the religious community. Whether this marks a shift in her personal beliefs or a calculated move to redefine her public image remains to be seen. Some have speculated that the Osteens might be reconsidering their approach in response to growing criticism. Others believe that this might be a temporary reaction to the pressures they face as public figures. The new controversy surrounding Victoria's comments comes at a time when both she and Joel are dealing with increasing scrutiny over their personal wealth and the message they deliver through Lakewood Church. Victoria's break from silence, however, suggests a significant shift in the way the Osteens are addressing public criticism, and it could mark a pivotal moment in their ministry and future endeavors. Joel Osteen, the pastor of Lakewood Church, has long been a controversial figure due to his wealth, lifestyle, and role in the prosperity gospel movement. His lavish living, including the rumors surrounding his ownership of a private jet and multi-million-dollar mansions, has generated significant backlash. Many critics argue that his lifestyle contradicts his teachings of simplicity, faith, and gratitude. The jet ownership controversy. A recent controversy revolves around Joel Osteen's alleged ownership of a private jet, which has sparked intense debate about the appropriateness of such an extravagant possession for a religious leader. While Lakewood Church has never confirmed whether Osteen owns a jet, rumors have persisted, particularly after Joel posted a message on social media about appreciating the simple things in life. His post emphasized that blessings can be found in everyday moments, such as family, health, and the beauty of nature. However, critics were quick to point out the apparent hypocrisy in Osteen's words. With a reported net worth of over $100 million and the ownership of luxury items such as a Ferrari worth $350,000 and a $12 million mansion in Houston's affluent River Oaks neighborhood, many saw his message as out of touch with the reality of ordinary people. Comments on social media reflected this growing discontent, with users calling out the inconsistency between his message of simplicity and his extravagant lifestyle. The source of Joel Osteen's wealth. While Joel Osteen does not accept a salary from Lakewood Church, which would amount to $200,000 annually, his wealth comes from other sources. His best-selling books, media appearances, endorsement deals, and real estate investments contribute significantly to his fortune. The Osteen couple's net worth is largely derived from their appeal to Christian audiences, as they have positioned themselves as influential figures in the prosperity gospel movement, which teaches that God rewards believers with material wealth and good health. Joel's financial success places him among the wealthiest pastors in the world. However, the prosperity gospel, which is often criticized for promoting greed, has been a source of controversy for the Osteens, with many questioning whether their message is more about financial success than about spiritual growth. The tragic shooting at Lakewood Church. On February 11, 2024, Lakewood Church was rocked by a tragic incident during its Spanish-language service. A woman, later identified as 36-year-old Janice Ivan Moreno Conroy, opened fire in the church, injuring a 47-year-old man and sparking panic among the congregation. The shooter, who had a history of mental illness and a criminal background, was confronted by off-duty police officers working as security and was fatally shot. Tragically, her 7-year-old son was also injured and underwent critical surgery. The shooting, which took place in just 5 minutes, raised fears of a larger threat, though authorities later confirmed that there was no second shooter. The attack left the church community shaken, and the subsequent investigation revealed anti-Semitic writings on the shooter's rifle and a sticker that referenced Palestine, prompting concerns about the potential ideological motivations behind the attack. In the aftermath, Joel Osteen and Lakewood Church released a statement asking for prayers for the victims and expressing their sorrow. Osteen spoke to the media, stating that the church was devastated by the incident and emphasized the importance of staying grounded in faith and supporting one another. This tragic event brought national attention to issues such as safety in places of worship, mental health awareness, and community resilience during times of crisis. The aftermath and Victoria Osteen's silence. As the church community dealt with the emotional fallout of the shooting, questions arose about how such a violent incident could occur in a place meant to provide sanctuary and peace. The tragic event has once again put the Osteens at the center of public scrutiny, especially considering their prominence in the Christian world and the size of their congregation. It is in this climate of tension and reflection that Victoria Osteen, Joel's wife, has broken her silence, sparking further interest. The couple's personal lives and actions have been the subject of much speculation, and Victoria's decision to speak out has left many people intrigued. Her comments are seen as an important response to the recent controversies surrounding the church, the shooting, and the public backlash against the Osteens' wealth and lifestyle. Victoria's silence up until this point has been a key aspect of her public persona, but now her voice is expected to provide clarity on the family's position amidst the growing criticism. What she has to say about the incident, their ministry, and their critics will likely play a significant role in shaping the next chapter of the Osteen family's journey in the public eye. As this story continues to unfold, the world will be watching to see how they navigate both the tragedy at Lakewood Church and the ongoing controversies surrounding their wealth and message. Victoria Osteen's controversial remarks and their impact on her and Lakewood Church. Victoria Osteen, the wife of renowned televangelist Joel Osteen, has always been a prominent figure in the Christian world, particularly within the sphere of televangelism. She stands beside her husband in leading Lakewood Church, one of the largest and most influential megachurches in the United States. However, despite the couple's success and immense popularity, Victoria Osteen has faced significant criticism, particularly following a controversial sermon she gave that shook the Christian community and sparked heated debate. In this sermon, delivered in front of thousands of attendees at Lakewood Church, Victoria made a statement that would reverberate far beyond the walls of the church. She told the congregation that Christianity is primarily about personal happiness and that people should obey God because it will bring them joy. In her words, when you come to church, when you worship Him, you're not doing it for God, really. You're doing it for yourself because that's what makes God happy. This statement caught the attention of both her supporters and detractors alike, and it was met with immediate backlash from a wide range of Christian leaders, theologians, and churchgoers. Victoria's comments are believed to have crossed a significant line for many conservative Christians who hold a more traditional view of worship and obedience. For them, Christianity is not about self-gratification, but about obedience to God's will, often in the face of hardship or sacrifice. Her words were seen as a direct contradiction to the core principles of the Christian faith, where worship is understood as an act of reverence, surrender, and devotion to God, rather than a means to achieve personal happiness. The criticism, a self-centered approach to Christianity? One of the most vocal critics of Victoria's remarks was Matt Moore, a prominent columnist for Christian Post. In his article, Victoria Osteen and Her Joy-Robbing Brand of Light Christianity, Moore sharply condemned her sermon, arguing that it promoted a distorted and self-centered interpretation of Christianity. According to Moore, Christianity, at its heart, calls for self-sacrifice, humility, and obedience to God's will, even when that will leads to suffering or difficulty. Moore criticized the idea that following God should primarily lead to personal pleasure and fulfillment. He called it a self-absorbed approach, emphasizing that Christianity is about submission to a higher power, not seeking happiness as the ultimate goal. Moore's perspective was echoed by R. Albert Mohler, Jr., the president of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, who labeled Victoria's remarks as heretical. Mohler argued that the central message of Christianity is not about seeking personal gain, whether in terms of financial security or good health, but about overcoming sin and embracing the teachings of Jesus Christ. He noted that the idea of happiness as a primary goal was not rooted in Scripture and undermined the biblical principles of sacrifice, service, and love. In the view of these critics, Victoria's emphasis on happiness as a motivator for worship represented a dangerous shift away from traditional Christian teachings. Further, the Christian News Network also weighed in, calling Victoria's message an example of a growing trend in megachurches, the rise of me-centered worship. This term refers to a style of Christianity where personal fulfillment, material success, and emotional satisfaction take precedence over the more traditional Christian values of sacrifice, humility, and selflessness. Critics argued that this trend, popularized by televangelists like the Osteens, is part of a larger, growing dissatisfaction with the direction of modern evangelicalism, which they perceive as being more focused on the prosperity and well-being of individuals rather than on serving God and others. Victoria Osteen responds, clarifying her intentions. After receiving widespread criticism, Victoria Osteen felt the need to respond publicly and defend her remarks. In a statement to The Blaze, she acknowledged that her comments could have been clearer and expressed regret if they were misinterpreted. However, she also emphasized that her intent was never to suggest that worshiping God was solely for the benefit of the worshiper. Rather, she explained, the point she was trying to make was that obedience to God ultimately leads to personal growth, improvement, and fulfillment. Victoria's clarification was rooted in her belief that the act of worship itself, when done with a genuine heart, brings joy and satisfaction. She reiterated that it is not selfish to experience joy from worship, as long as the joy is a natural outgrowth of a deep connection with God. She further emphasized that members of Lakewood Church understood her message in this light, pointing out that many of them had personally experienced the joy and sense of victory that comes from participating in the church's services. For Victoria, the message was about the transformative power of worship and how it can lead to personal betterment, rather than an endorsement of self-interest or selfish motivations. In defense of her words, Victoria also pointed out that detractors were misrepresenting her message by suggesting that she was implying people should worship God solely for personal gain. She stated that she never meant to downplay the importance of prayer and communion with God, and that such acts are essential to building a relationship with the divine. She called out those who misunderstood her words as scoffers and asserted that they had misinterpreted her intentions. The 2005 flight incident, legal drama, and public backlash. In addition to her controversial sermon, Victoria Osteen faced another scandal that cast a shadow over her public image. This occurred in 2005 when she was involved in a legal dispute with a flight attendant. According to reports from NBC News, Victoria was accused of assaulting Sharon Brown, a flight attendant, on a flight from Texas to Colorado. The incident allegedly began when a spill occurred on Victoria's armrest in the first-class section of the plane. Brown, who had been polite throughout the situation, claimed that Victoria became irate when the spill was not cleaned up quickly enough. According to Brown's account, the situation escalated when Victoria allegedly threw her against a bathroom door and punched her in the chest. Brown further claimed that Victoria attempted to enter the cockpit during the confrontation, which led to the flight being delayed. In the aftermath of the incident, Brown filed a lawsuit seeking punitive damages, amounting to 10% of Victoria's estimated $100 million net worth. The case went to court, and the details of the altercation were fiercely contested. Both Joel and Victoria Osteen denied any physical confrontation, insisting that the accusations were exaggerated. Witnesses to the incident testified that they did not see any physical violence, and the jury deliberated for only 2 hours before returning a verdict of not guilty for Victoria on the charge of mistreatment. However, Victoria was penalized $3,000 for impeding a crew member, which, while a relatively small penalty, left lingering questions about the true nature of the incident. In the wake of the trial, some observers pointed to the fact that Victoria had allegedly dismissed the flight attendant in a racially charged manner, referring to her as black. This added an additional layer of controversy to the case, with some critics suggesting that the incident may have been racially motivated. While no definitive evidence was presented to confirm this claim, the allegations further damaged Victoria's reputation, especially among those who felt that the Osteen family's wealth and celebrity status may have influenced the legal proceedings, ongoing influence, and public perception. Despite these controversies, the Osteens have remained powerful figures within the world of televangelism, reaching millions of people through their television broadcasts, books, and public appearances. Their ministry, Lakewood Church, continues to be one of the largest and most influential churches in the United States, with an estimated weekly congregation of over 50,000 people. Joel and Victoria Osteen have built a brand that appeals to a broad audience, offering messages of hope, positivity, and personal success. However, the controversies surrounding Victoria's statements and actions have fueled ongoing debates about the direction of modern Christianity, particularly in the context of the prosperity gospel movement. Critics argue that the Osteens' focus on personal happiness, material wealth, and emotional satisfaction detracts from the more traditional, sacrificial teachings of Christianity. At the same time, their supporters argue that their message offers practical guidance for living a positive and fulfilled life, grounded in faith. As the public continues to scrutinize their lives and ministry, the Osteens remain steadfast in their commitment to spreading their message of hope and success. Victoria's controversial remarks and past legal issues have not diminished their influence, but they have sparked important conversations about the role of wealth, happiness, and obedience in the Christian faith. For some, the Osteens embody a new, modern form of Christianity that focuses on personal empowerment and fulfillment, while for others, they represent a dangerous departure from traditional Christian values. Regardless of where one stands, there is no denying that the Osteen family's impact on American Christianity is profound and far-reaching.